Hello, hello. Happy, what day is this? Wednesday for most of you. Thursday for me. How you guys doing? We're here, we're doing the thing. I'm very excited. You can super chat when chat is inline, but not when you pop it up. Okay, so this is going to be an adventure for us. YouTube streaming platform isn't remotely as intuitive or, in my opinion, interactive as the one over on Twitch, so this is going to be a learning curve for all of us. I ordinarily only do 2 YouTube streams a year. Now I'm going to be doing 2 a month, so we're gonna get comfortable with this. We're gonna make this work. Okay. Hello, you guys. Whew. Let me transition over so you guys can say hi. Hi. Yeah, so this is my way of, now that my school stuff is over, this is my way of sort of broadening my reach a little bit, making sure that more people can hang out, people that don't have Twitch accounts, people that don't want Twitch accounts, which I totally respect. And I want to talk to more of you guys. I like you guys. So that's kind of where we are. I don't have a plan for this one. The next one will be probably gaming. I'm going to probably do one just chatting and one gaming stream here every month. So like every other Wednesday/Thursday. But this one, since it's the first one, I just wanted to kind of start with the chatting. We can hang out, we can talk, we can, be chill, have a nice vibe going, so we can all kind of relax our way towards the weekend. It's there, I see it. It's there at the end of the week. So, fantasy roleplay queen. Queen's a strong word. There's a lot of those out there. But I do appreciate it. Re with the fingies. Yes. Re with the fingies. Got my fingies on today. So, woo! I actually like you guys, like a lot. I don't tell anybody though, because then I'll be made fun of by the other kids. But I do like you guys, and I'll pass you a note after lunch. Yeah. Surprisingly, she does like us. Of course I do. Of course I do. She doesn't believe that we like her. I believe you. I just don't know why. I guess. It's fine. And I apologize if my fingies go a little wild. I'm still waiting for the allergy medicine to kick in, so having to scratch my nose and stuff. Okay. My classmates know that I'm a content creator that likes... No. Well, now I'm not in school anymore, so it doesn't matter. Actually, funny story, when I was in classes, I briefly got pulled in by the extrovert in the class, this very, very perky woman who wanted to know everything about everybody. And she pulled me into her group for a coffee break or something one day, and started asking me about what I do and blah, blah, blah. And I gave her a very loose, I make content for YouTube kind of thing. And she wanted to know my channel. And I said, nope, absolutely not. And she was kind of offended. She's like, you mean I can't go and listen to you? I said, I'd rather you didn't. No, I kind of prefer my lives to be separate. My real world and my online world are very, very separate. So she was kind of pissy. And I was like, if you stumble on it, you know what? Well done, you. But I'm not going to tell you. I can't tell you what it is. Sure, she knows. She said, yeah, okay. All right, whatever. She is the 1984 lady. That is correct. Man, I'm going to have to probably retell quite a few stories for this stream, because there's a lot of stories I tell on Twitch that some of you guys would not have heard, but there was a point in one of the design classes where we were laying out magazine pages as practice, and this class was probably the least challenging for me, because the software we used, which is Adobe InDesign, happens to be the software I've used for literally years when I was still a corporate, what's the word? Cog in the machine, I guess is the best way to put it. So the placeholder text they gave us to play with for this layout project was from the book 1984 by George Orwell, which I imagine most of you guys are familiar with. And if you haven't read it, you at least understand the concept of, you know, Big Brother and all that good stuff. So the teacher gives us the project. We're all sitting there working away on the layout, and this woman, this very extroverted woman, kind of looks around. She's like, "So what happened in 1984?" And we all just kind of looked at her like, what do you mean? She's like, "Well, this says it's from 1984. What happened? Like, was there something that happened that year?" And I was like, "The book, 1984, the book by George Orwell." And she goes, "I've never heard of it." And I was like, "Really?" Like, I'd never met anybody who not only, I mean, it's one thing to not have read it, but to not have ever heard of it. And at first I was like, okay, well, whatever, you do you. But then she Googled it, and then she was like, "Oh, that's probably why I've never heard of it. It doesn't sound like something I would like." And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, never mind. I know." I have nothing more to say to you. So, yeah. Hey, Ohio boy. Yeah, some people are aggressively perky and aggressively nosy and just really want to know everything about everything and like to form cliques, like to surround, which, like, my brother is very extroverted. He likes to be around people. He's not comfortable if he's sitting by himself. I get it to a point. I'm not like that. I am an introvert. I recharge by being by myself. So, yeah, some people do take it a little too far. Hey, Blue. All right, hold on 1 second. I'm going to mute so I can cough. All right, there we go. Whew. Yeah. The allergies, I guess I'm allergic to something that thrives here in the winter. So yesterday we went for a walk. We like to go for walks anyway, through the neighborhood. And we live in a very residential area, and it's nice, it's charming. It's got some low-key hills to go up and down, and like a lot of parks, a lot of green space just kind of tucked away in different corners. Like, you'll turn down one street and suddenly there's this charming little park with a playground, and it's like, oh, that's cute. And at the edge of it, there's this like preserve, which has like kangaroos and stuff in it. And I talked before on my other streams about when I was having my regular vitamin shots for a while there, which was every other day. I would walk to the doctor's office because it was maybe 1.5 kilometers away from my house in my neighborhood. And on the way back, I would walk past the preserve and look at the kangaroos, most of whom would be hanging out near the fence at that point, that time of the day. So I like that. That was my little treat. But there's also a different park a little bit further away from our place. We have to actually drive to it, that has like walking trails. You can actually go in and walk around and see a lot of wildlife. And we've been there a few times. We haven't been lately. And especially like right now it's winter here, so it's very rainy. It's weird to me that the rainy season is also winter. Like in Florida, it was kind of the opposite. But we did go yesterday. We were getting ready to take a walk, and Lupus was like, "Do you want to go to the preserve?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." So we drove over there. And God, there's so many kangaroos in there, you guys. Like, so many. I tweeted some pictures of them, but like, they're just everywhere. It's just amazing to me. These roos look yeah, roos are very, why am I getting, what was that alert? What happened with Stream Elements just now? Did you guys hear that? I don't know how alerts work on YouTube, so this is interesting. So it was a follow alert, so maybe somebody went and followed me on, I guess, on Twitch. That'd be a Twitch follow, probably. Okay, sure, why not? Let's do that. If you follow me on Twitch, the alert will pop up here. Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna do that. Sure. Thanks, Stream Elements, very cool. That's fine. You're welcome to follow me on Twitch. I do this a lot more there. I do a lot more chatting, and yeah, I saw it too. I saw it pop up. The YouTube stream interface is not ideal. That's okay. Hype train. No, don't start a hype train over on Twitch. I will not be okay with that. It was a follow, yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have a mod handy who can check these things, because I Can't be bothered. Australia Fund is almost there. I know, you guys have been so ridiculously generous, and if I think too hard about it, I start to cry, so I'm trying to, like, mitigate my emotional fallout over this, but I am so grateful. And, like I said, I didn't expect to get there. Like, when we started this thing, I was like, there's no way. Like, there's so many better things to support. There's, you know, like, I would support better things, and if it was just me, I wouldn't do this. But, like, it's weird to have hope. Like, it really is. It's genuinely weird to have hope. So, don't want us to bully. I can't stop you from dicking around over on Twitch. That said, it sounds like we're gonna get all the alerts if you do. So if you pull any shit, then our stream here is going to be full of alerts. Just keep that in mind. Make good choices. Make nice, good choices. What's wrong with crying? Nothing. I cry all the time, but, like, it's not that I want to, like, I'm not asking for it. Like, I'm not looking for reasons to cry. I'm a big weeper. I will cry at a lot of things. Like, I feel so bad. I think it was yesterday, I was sitting on the couch, Lucas was the other end of the couch. I'm just scrolling my phone, scrolling Twitter, and I stop on this video, and it's one of those, like, really sweet animal videos, but this one is really, really sad, and I just lost my shit. I just started crying, and he's like, what the hell? And I was like, it's a sad video. He's like, oh my god. Like, to his credit, he did hug me, but, like, oh my god. Yeah, I was just... Thane, thank you so much for the super chat. By the way, guys, haven't heard of Urban Nymph. She's amazing. She's a living person. She's a hard time accepting that people like her. But yeah, well, okay, it's partially correct. It's a borderline accurate super chat. DJ Ree. Yeah, you guys really did like that DJ voice the other day. I was kind of surprised. I don't get a lot of, in the past, I've never really gotten a call for the DJ voice, so... And you guys know I studiously avoided the broadcast department at my J school. Like, I didn't even go up to their floor most of the time. I never even thought of doing broadcast anything, so. Might have been hay fever. I mean, when I was out on the hike the other day in the preserve, like, one of my eyes, like, I guess the wind was catching it just right, but it was just, like, tearing, just, like, running. And I wasn't crying, it was just, like, being activated. Like, allergy powers activate. So, I should avoid, as well, I should avoid the broadcast floor. I lived with a radio major. He was a strange dude. Yeah. Not radio major, he was a broadcast major, but, like, his focus was radio, and that was for a very good reason. Like, yeah, anyway, we'll just leave it at that. It was reverse goober-ish from Thane. I do read the super chats within reason. I don't know what kind of restrictions YouTube places on on what you can say in a super chat. I don't really want to test it, so I'm gonna follow into. Go ahead. The follows don't bother me. It's when these goobers try to go over and, like, dick around with a hype train, offline hype train, because they think they're being funny, like. And I do appreciate it, don't get me wrong, but, like, yeah, requires a little wackiness. I was thinking more that he had a face made for radio, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, it's just, you expect to see certain things on screens, and people get real pissed off if that standard is not met. Like, unsettlingly pissed off. And I gotta appreciate when, thank you for the follow. When some company or some, like, ad campaign tries to incorporate normal looking people into their stuff and everybody pitches a bitch fit over it, and it's like, well, that was worth a shot. Offline hype train is awesome. Hey, you know what? Like I said, I can't stop you guys. Just be aware that you have to listen to the alerts. Unless I turn them off, and I don't plan to, because I don't feel like opening another tab. So, plus, hey, you know what? That's what you get the alerts. You earn the alerts by being gremlins. Sleep, food, iron pills. Okay, I sort of slept. It was a bit rough. It was really cold. It's cold, you guys. It's winter. And I had a headache, so it was really kind of, the headache will probably be helped by sleep, but it's hard to sleep with a headache. And I did eat. I had some toast, and I did take my iron pills, so yes, we are good to go. So far, so good. And in about an hour and a half, the window of time opens in which my quarterly inspection starts. Because here in Australia, every 3 months or so, somebody from the rental agency comes and inspects your rental property to make sure you haven't, graffitied the walls or lit something on fire. I'm not really sure what they're looking for. It's only been 3 months. But it does incentivize us to clean like maniacs for a couple of days before. And we're not dirty people. Like, I was mopping the other day and I realized how little dirt was on the mop, but it's because we just don't wear our shoes in the house. So, like, it really does make a difference. But they're going to be showing up sometime between 9 and 12, so I guess I probably shouldn't be live when they're here. Probably. Winter Panda! Thank you so much for the super chat. Also, happy birthday! Is it still your birthday, or did the clock switch over for you? I think you're officially not birthday anymore, but that's okay. Happy birthday! And don't forget, you guys, if you do subscribe to me on Twitch or you're a patron on Patreon, patron on Patreon, you have access to my Discord, which is why I know it's Winter Panda's birthday. Because we do hang out there, and it's fun. I really like the Discord. It's my favorite thing about this community, like, hands down. Everybody is really sweet and caring and kind and supportive and of each other, not just me. And it's just a really good vibe. Yeah, crying is definitely healthy. I just don't want to spend my entire day doing it. Especially since, sometimes when you kick it off, it's hard to stop. So, like, I do cry plenty. I probably average one good cry a day if you math it out. So, yes, happy birthday, Winter Panda. But yeah, Twitch sub and Patreon are the ways to access the Discord, which is pretty cool because, like, the Patreon lets you do it for $2, which I love. Like, I love that that's an option. Like, I love that it lets me set such a low amount for access. I thought about making the Discord public, but the potential for bad things to happen, some of which have kind of happened in the past, even with the slight barrier to entry. So, Vod, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, that's cute. Look at that little dude. How cold is cold? 1 degree Celsius. It's pretty chilly. I'm used to Florida. That's where I used to live. When I was little, I lived in the Midwest. It would get pretty damn cold there. But, like, I lived in North Florida, so we would sometimes get, like, snow flurries and, like, a hard frost on the grass. And here in Australia, it's comparable, I think, to North Florida winter. I don't think they ever get snow flurries here, but we do get hail, like a lot of hail. And I don't know, it hits different because the houses here are not insulated and there is no central heat. These houses are built 1000% just to try and reduce the suffering of the summertime, because the summers here are a lot more brutal than the winters. So the house in the summer, it has air conditioning, and the way it's built is sort of designed to hold in the cold. It's like cave-like, which in the summer is amazing. But right now, it is a winter cave in here. Thane, thank you again for the super chat. Now I go to sleep. Good night, Goober. You have fun. Thank you, Thane. Sleep well. Yeah. Party too much and consume too much alcohol. Look after yourself. Be good. 1 degree Celsius is about 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Which isn't terrible until, like I said, you don't have insulation or central heat. Then you feel it. then you feel it a lot. So, good night, Winter Panda. Sleep well. You'll trade houses? Yeah, right now I bet you will. It's hot as hell where you are. You guys are all having summer up there in that northern hemisphere. Yeah, it's fine. Summer's here pretty rough, so I don't mind that the house is built to stay cool. Like, ultimately that is the more important thing out of the two. But right now it's just a little rough. Like, also we have like tile floors. You know, everything is sort of designed to keep things as cold as possible. I do have a little tiny space heater next to me, and he's doing the work. And we have a couple of heaters in the main area of the house. One just kind of radiates like a campfire, so we sort of huddle around it. Yeah, I did used to live in Texas, Dallas area. And it got pretty rough, but we also had like ice storms in the winter there too. So, like, Texas can't figure itself out. That shit's fucked. Like, that weather's extreme. Didn't know it got that cold. Yeah. And obviously, like, the further south you go in Australia, the colder it gets in the winter because, you know, you're leaving the equator behind, going toward the pole. So, further south from here even, it gets progressively colder. I don't think there's ever snow. I think the only place in Australia that gets snow is on the other coast because I'm in Western Australia. And I think over the other side there are some, like, mountains or something that do get some snow. But best you can do is lurk. Hey, that's cool. Lurking's always good. Air quality is still bad. Yeah, I saw that still being an issue. And, like, some of the government accounts I follow are offering suggestions on how to, like, assemble your own air filter and stuff like that. Favorite Australian plant? The kangaroo paw. It's like a little flower that looks like a little kangaroo paw. It looks like something Dr. Seuss would have designed. I like pink kangaroo paws. Have I adjusted to the metric system well? I'm getting there. A lot of it for me is having to convert things for Lupus because he does not understand freedom units at all. Like, having to explain what a yard is, what a foot is, what an inch is. And it's like, oh, it's simple. There's, 12 inches in a foot and 3 feet in a yard. And he looks at me like I have 6 heads because that makes no sense. Why is it not in just multiples of 10 like a normal person? And I'm like, yes, and there's 5,280 feet in a mile. It's just the fact that, like, American kids just have to, like, remember this shit. I think I was measuring something the other day and I was like, I think there's 8 ounces in a cup. He's like, what are these words? Like, milliliters, liters. These things all have very orderly breakdowns. So yeah, it's a lot of my adjustment has just been converting stuff for him, which helps. 101 Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's pretty toasty. I come from Texas to Australia. A lot of different ways. So I grew up in the Midwest. Spent a couple years in Texas with my family. My dad got a job there because he's a doctor and he was moving into hospital administration, and there was a big hospital system there that wanted him to run some doctor stuff, I guess. I don't know. So did that, hated it, and so I moved to Florida. Liked that a lot better. Lived there for a while, and my parents actually ended up moving to Florida shortly after me. My dad left that job, and they didn't like Texas either. They really didn't like Texas either. So, but I was getting increasingly frustrated with Florida and needed a change, and I spent about 6 months living in the UK, and I really liked that, but it was pretty expensive to live there, and also, like, I couldn't stay. I didn't, like, have a work visa. I did try. I started looking for, like, a job so I could stay, but, like, my skill set, marketing, communications, things like that, they don't tend to give visas for. Like, the companies there only get a certain number of visas to give out, and they tend to use them on, like, IT and healthcare and stuff like that. So I tried, and then and it kind of sucked because there were a couple of jobs I really would have enjoyed doing, like communication stuff for hospitals, especially like the NHS. Met some really interesting people, and they really seem to like me, but I think when it comes down to it, like, if you've got 2 candidates and one needs a visa and one doesn't, you're not going to go the visa route, probably. So And that's okay. But then I had to leave because you can only be there 6 months at a time without a visa. So I came back to Florida, spent a little time researching my options, resetting myself, and Lupus and I were already very good friends at this point, and he was also looking for a roommate, and he, was born and raised here in Australia. And I was like, what the hell, let's give that a shot. So here we are. We've lived in this house now for nearly a year, which kind of blows my mind. So, yeah, that's how I got here. Bald eagles per McDonald's. Honestly, that does feel like that's how Australians react to pretty much anything American. Like they do like our shows, our entertainment, our media. Like obviously it's kind of the dominant media in the world is American media. But and I apologize again for you Twitch folks that have heard a lot of these stories before, but and I'm sorry I keep clearing my throat. Jeez, I'm gluggy this morning. Like here, like drip coffee makers that are so common in the States, where you just have a little basket with coffee grounds and you put the water through and it drips down to the pot. Very standard, like $20 drip coffee maker. Those aren't a thing here, really. Like, not at all. They have French presses and they have like espresso machines. And that's kind of it. They don't really do drip coffee makers. So for a while, and Lupus is a coffee drinker, we were using a French press to make his coffee in the mornings, and he seemed intrigued by the idea of a drip coffee maker, so we finally got one. And it has a little, programmable clock on it, so you can set it to start making your coffee when you wake up and things like that. Blew his mind. He loves that thing. But not just him, like his whole family, like they come over and they see that thing sitting on the counter and they say our kitchen looks American because it has a drip coffee maker on the counter, which is such an, like American TV shows, movies, there's always a coffee maker on the counter in the kitchen because that's just an American thing. But here, no, you don't really see a lot of coffee makers. So I'm actually tempted to get one for his sister for her birthday because she really likes it. So anyway. Wait, why are you singing the Enterprise song? Oh, The Long Road. Yeah, okay, I gotcha. Well, now that's in my head. Thanks for that. I'll be singing that all day. Hey, Burrito. Good to see you. Sometimes it feels like the streams are pre-recorded. No, I'm just sitting here yakking away. Drip coffee makers don't really... Here in Australia, there's so many things that aren't really a thing here. Drip coffee makers are not a thing. There are no garbage disposals in the sinks, which is super weird to me, but that wasn't a thing in the UK either. They do have, like, electric kettles everywhere here, which is not a thing in the States. That was a thing in the UK. Like, any place that's tea heavy, these countertop kettles, like, we have one. I use it. I've never had one before. Like, that's not a thing you grow up with as an American kid. When my mom wanted tea, she'd either boil the water in the microwave or like put a kettle on the actual stove. So there's that. And then what else? What else is like a major difference? Swiffers. They don't really have Swiffers here, but I love Swiffers. It's okay. I'm not a clean freak. I'm not a neat freak, but like it's satisfying. It's satisfying to adequately sweep and mop the floor. Especially when it's like this giant, long tile floor with nothing between you and the dust. So here you go. I love the Swiffer. They don't have it here, but we do have Costco, and Costco carries quite a few American things here because that's just how their contract works, I guess, as far as their stock. So like I can get like Cascade dish soap pods for the dishwasher. I can get Swiffer cloths, things like that. Oh, goldfish crackers. That's a thing at Costco, which, again, they're not familiar with. I love going to Costco with Australians because they love it, but they're kind of, like, a little mind blown as they look around. It's like, this is so American. How am I liking Strange New Worlds? I like it. I'm only a couple episodes. How many have they only put out a couple episodes so far? Into the second season, haven't they? I like Strange New Worlds. I like the chemistry of the cast. We definitely won't spoil anything here, but yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised by that show. It kind of gives me, at least the first season, kind of gave me Orwell vibes a little bit because they were, Orville, not Orwell. I'm still thinking of 1984, Orville vibes, because I like it that it's a little more relaxed. You know, like, that's something I liked about the Orville that I wish Star Trek had done a long time ago, was let the cast, let the crew be like, just be people with each other. Like, I know they tried a few times, but it always felt a little forced, a little artificial, very stiff. You know, they were not great at that. Even when the cast had amazing chemistry, the casual moments were very few and far between. And they seemed to act like colloquialisms had fallen off the face of the earth and nobody used slang anymore. And it's like, and like for a cast like TNG, Geordi LaForge was obviously the most relatable character because he's the only one that spoke like a person. So it's nice to have a cast where they can joke with each other and be snarky and sarcastic and sometimes silly and have it be normal, like have it be normal human interactions. I do like that a lot. You'll smuggle me Swiffers. I for sure can get the wet ones, the Swiffer, not the wet jet, like just the wet cloths that attach to the regular Swiffer at Costco. The dry ones are hit or miss. I did order some on Amazon when we first moved in, and I'm just now getting to the end of that box because I kind of hoard them a little. Like okay, Swiffer strategy if you're trying to hoard your Swiffer cloths. First, you hold them in your hand and use it to dust all the surfaces that are like higher up, like bookshelves and, you know, things like that, tabletops. This is all assuming that you do this more often than once every few months, because otherwise you're going to accumulate way too much dust on your first pass and it's not going to be helpful. But if it's just mildly dusty, very lightly dusty, go over everything with the cloth in your hand, then attach that same cloth to your push Swiffer and do the floor. Work your way down. Always work your way down because things go downward, right? As you dust, the dust falls down. If you go the other way, if you do the floor and then you go back and try to dust, things will fall down and you got to do the floor again, basically. So work your way down, dust things with your handheld cloth, and then attach that cloth and use that on the floor. That is the maximum usage of your single dry dusting Swiffer cloth. Thank you so much. This has been Swiffer Conservation with Ree. Makes it take longer for kettles to heat. That wouldn't surprise me either. Let's see. Sorry, I'm scrolling through chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. If I do, just definitely tell me that. Are there any American restaurants in Australia? I mean, it depends on what you consider restaurants. We do have McDonald's, we do have KFC. There are 2 Taco Bells in the entirety of Western Australia, I think, but one of them is maybe 20 minutes from our house. So Lupus had his very first Taco Bell back in like November. I took pictures. He was very happy. We literally have a framed picture of him standing outside Taco Bell giving 2 thumbs up, sitting on our shelf. Like, that's... So people have pictures of their families. We have Lupus at the Taco Bell. So... Anyway, so yeah, we got the fast food joints we have. We have Hungry Jack's, which is basically Burger King, but Burger King as a brand already existed in Australia at the time when they tried to enter the country, so they had to rename it to Hungry Jack's. It's the same menu though. What else is like American? Other than that, like most of the mid-level places don't really, like if they exist, they'd be over like in Sydney or something. Here in Western Australia, it's not really, like we have, I'm trying to think of like, there's a burger place we like called Grilled. I don't think that's a thing in the States, like Healthy Burgers. The taco place that is more of a sit-down kind of vibe, which again, the restaurants don't even work quite the same here. Like a lot of times you don't get waited on by wait staff. You like order at the counter and then you go sit and then maybe they buzz you when your food is ready, or maybe they bring it to you. And then when you pay, you just get up and go. Like nobody's checking on you to see if you want another drink. Nobody's like coming and making sure your food's okay. You're pretty much left to your own devices. And the few restaurants that actually have a wait staff that's attentive, like the ones we're used to in the States, it's different. It feels different because it's not really a thing here. And of course, tipping culture is not a thing either. So everybody that's working in these restaurants is already getting paid what is hopefully a living wage. They're better at that here than they are back in the States. I want to say the minimum wage here is something like $20 an hour, but that's $20 Australian, so that'd be about $15 American. So yeah. So, I mean, it's different. It's very different. I'm trying to think if there's any... I can't think of a single, like, sit-down restaurant. I mean, there's plenty of them. There's a lot of, like, little pubs and stuff like that. It's just not... They're not American restaurants. They're not, like, chains that moved over or anything like that. So yeah. Alright. Well, this came out of the blue. Hello. Did it? Because I put it on my stream schedule and I made a couple of community posts on YouTube about it, and I tweeted about it, and I talked about it on my other streams. Man, surprise! Surprise stream! No Taco Bells and no Wendy's. Okay, so we are getting Wendy's here. There is a place called Wendy's, but it's not like the Wendy's in the States. Allegedly, we are getting Wendy's here. The East will get it first, like Sydney, Melbourne, places like that. I don't know how long it'll take to get here, if it ever does. I do think a Baconator and a Frosty would be nice, but I also don't think it's worth like losing sleep over. It's good. Like, I like Wendy's, don't get me wrong, but like the food that is here is good too. I have eaten kangaroo. It's not great. It's okay. It's a very dense, gamey meat. You know, kangaroos are very buff. They don't have a lot of fat content, so yes, I have eaten it. It's okay. It's kind of pungent. Let's see. Hey, Smokin', I recognize you. What's one place I love to go back to eat and why? So we're not that far from the coast, and so there's a lot of like seafood. Like seafood here is great, especially calamari, which they don't call here. They call it just squid rings, which is very straightforward. But like the fish and chips joints, really fresh. And if you go to one that's like close to the water, usually even better. So there's a place that does a really killer like fried seafood platter that I love, and it's just a really nice vibe because you can sit outside on the waterfront and it's pretty casual. It's pretty big. There's usually 1 million people there. We actually had lunch there with Lupus's sister, was it earlier this week or last week? I can't remember. The days have run together, you guys. So especially since like weekends don't really count as weekends for me because I just work through them, so it's like different. But I'm trying to dial back. I'm trying to like find that balance now that I've got 2 days a week where I don't jump up and stream or go to school. So I've got that. Those days are still work days as of now. I still like work on stuff. I edit audios or, you know, work on thumbnails or whatever, write scripts. But I'm trying to now dial that back a little bit and try to have at least 1 day of the week where I'm not spending the whole day working. It's such a small goal, but I'm working on it. Like, because it's hard if there's stuff that needs to be done and it's just sitting there. Your laptop's just sitting there like, hey, open me up and do a little writing. It's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just you know, a little bit of work. It's okay. It's just who's going to know? No one's going to know. And it's like, I do need to be careful about that. So I'm working on that balance. But yeah, those little seafood places on the water. I love seafood. I've got a real thing for it. Sometimes I like really crave it. I go in cycles. I've always got like artificial crab meat in the fridge. And sometimes I'll just have that for lunch, just like chunks of artificial crab meat. So, yeah. Kangaroo sounds like perfect fajitas. Kangaroo would probably make really good stew meat. Yeah, I had it in burger form. And it was just kind of strong and kind of dry. Like it just doesn't have enough fat content to really... But I was told to eat it like the burgers are better than the steaks. Like that's how I was instructed to consume it by the Australians. So... The spider meme. You mean just the fact that spiders are big and will kill you here? There are spiders. I haven't seen any here that were bigger than the ones I used to see in Florida. I did almost put my head through like a golden orb spider and her web, like one of my first days in Australia, because I'm an idiot, but I didn't. It came very close, but I didn't. And she would have been harmless. They don't hurt you. There are some that, like, when they get in our house, Lupus is like, oh yeah, that guy'll hurt if he bites, kind of thing. Like, be sure to kill those guys. And it's like, okay, yeah, I could do that. Most dangerous one we had was a redback, which is basically like a black widow, that was hanging out on the handle of our garden hose sprayer. But fortunately, Lupus checks that before he grabs it, and he saw it there. So, yeah, there are spiders. I'm told there are some very large ones, you know, huntsmans and stuff like that. Maybe it's because we live in the suburbs. Maybe it's because I just don't venture out into the bush often enough. We do go camping sometimes. We are planning to go camping again here in another month or two once it warms up just a little bit. Like 1 degree Celsius is a bit cold to be in a tent overnight. But we plan to camp and also fish. I'm going to get some fishing in. It'll be nice. We've been watching videos on how to clean fish while camping. So we're educating ourselves. We like camping. We've just never done the fish and then clean your own fish thing before, so that's gonna be special. It's gonna be new. We'll see how much of a mess we make and whether we end up going to the hospital because the stupid fillet knife is too sharp or something. We'll find out, I guess. Hide your joeys. There were so many babies, so many joeys out yesterday when we did our hike. Like, just so many kangaroos in general, but like the babies are so cute. And they're so little. And then you get the boomers, the big males, and they just stand there like squaring up like, I dare you to come closer. It's like, no, I think I'll pass, thanks. I'm good. Fahad, thank you. Oh, look at him. Look at that little dude. Good luck on the fish cleaning. It's gonna, yeah. I think we've got a pretty good strat. I don't anticipate getting enough fish to actually live on. Like, this is gonna be a bring a bunch of food from home and then also, hey, look, we caught some fish. Let's eat that too. Like, that kind of thing. Just in case. 'Cause we may not catch a damn thing. And even if we do, we may not catch enough to live on, so. But it's just one of those, like, skills it's good to have. You know? It's good to know how to catch and prepare your own food in the wilderness. And I like the camping here. The wild here is nice. There's a little range of, not even mountains, they're more like hills, that divides our side of Western Australia from the side that basically starts to become outback. And like on our side, it's pretty lush, pretty green, like by comparison, especially this time of year with all the rain. So it's pretty and it's, you know, livable. But then once you get over the range of hills, which is called the Darling Scarp, it gets a lot drier and a lot emptier and a lot more dangerous to be in. So yeah, I don't recommend, like, anybody that thinks it's okay just to wander out into the outback, please don't. It really will kill you. It's not hospitable. It's the surface of Mars out there, and that's really not an exaggeration. Like, the vast majority of the inside of Australia is just not worth hiking out into. There's plenty to see on the edges that's good. And his dog in the head. Yeah, I've seen that video. That people will fight kangaroo. I mean, kangaroos will fight people if it becomes a situation in which that's warranted. But generally, it's not very common. It's not very common. So yeah, if you have any other questions about Australia, please feel free to ask. I'm constantly discovering things that make me go, oh, that's not how we do it in the States. And it's not even a big thing. It's just different, you know? It's something simple but different. Like when I was talking about the ice makers and the fridges the other day and stuff like that. It's just different. Like Mars. It is, yeah, the dirt's very red. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I mean, obviously there are things in the middle. There's the drive from Western Australia out east, the Nullarbor, which is like a really long highway along the bottom of Australia, and it takes like 4 or 5 days to get across. It's doable, but like there are places along the way to stop and get gas and even eat and stuff like that. But it is a bit of a trek, and it is like if something goes wrong, if your shit breaks down or you don't gas up when you should, it can be very dangerous. So like there's not, like people will make that drive. It's also just very desolate. There's not a lot to see. You know, 4 or 5 days of just driving across Mars, basically. So if you're gonna travel from one end of Australia to the other, planes are definitely, like, flying from here to, like, Sydney is about a 5-hour flight. Because it's, like, flying from one side of the United States to the other. And there's also boats, there's cruise ships that will circumnavigate the country. And there's also trains. Trains are a thing. A lot of the stuff that gets moved from out east out to here is taken by train. Like, Australia is pretty self-sufficient. There are imports of some things, but where they can, they do try to grow and make and produce whatever they can themselves, so they don't have to import. Like, almost all of our produce is locally produced. And obviously wool is a big thing here. This part of Australia has a lot of mining. Western Australia is like mining, I think, I'm trying to remember what it is. Is it tin? There's a few different metals that they mine here. And mining is a huge industry in Australia, one of the major exports, actually. So, yeah. Yeah, it's my best advice. Don't drive out into the outback. Don't hike out into the outback. Don't be a hero. The Darling Scarp, yes. The Darling Scarp is the range. I know, it sounds really cool, doesn't it? Like, I just love the name, the Darling Scarp. And the Darling Scarp has a unique ecosystem of its own. There's a lot of small, skittery, nocturnal, shy creatures that live out there. You don't see a lot of small mammals here. They don't have squirrels. They have like little ring-tailed possums. They have rats and stuff like that, but you really don't see them. Most of the little critters here just don't come out. Like in Florida, we had squirrels. We had little bunnies that would come out like at dawn and dusk to eat and, you know, things like that. Not here. Birds, yes. Tons of parrots, cockatoos, black cockatoos, 28s, galahs. Really cool parrots. Which, by the way, 28s are the laziest naming convention ever. They call them 28s because it sounds like they're saying 28 when they fly over and make noises. So they're 28s. You can Google 28s, parrot 28s. They're really pretty little colorful birds. The ones at the campsite we like are borderline tame. They'll just eat out of our hands. But yeah, 28s. So, is any part of Australia legalized recreation? No, I don't think so. Do not think so. Good place to go swimming? I mean, depends on what you like. There's swimming pools and stuff. There's an ocean. The ocean is a little dangerous. There are some very large sharks. They're great white sharks in Australia, but the ones that they know of are mostly tagged. Like when a new one shows up, they tag it so they can track it. And I think they have something like 300 great whites tagged right now off the coast. And if one of them wanders into a swimming area, like the tag will alert and they can evacuate the water and get everybody onto the beach so that nobody gets hurt. Sea snakes are a thing. Jellyfish are a big thing over on the other side. Box jellyfish and Irukandji jellyfish, which are real bad. The box jellyfish, I think, is responsible for killing more people than any other marine life. Like, both of those will inject enough venom in you to stop your heart. They don't promise to kill you, but they very well can. People do die. I don't think we have either of those on this side. We do have blue-ring octopus. We do not fuck with the blue-ringed octopus. Yeah, the water here is definitely trying to kill you more than the land is, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah. Bin chickens are a thing. Yep, bin chickens. So in Florida, we had ibises, which were small and white and charming, and they would walk around in little flocks through your neighborhood and like eat bugs and keep on going. Here they're bin chickens. They're still ibises, but they're larger and angrier and just, it's like the mean Australian cousin, you know? And they have zero respect. Like here, they're treated like a nuisance. In Florida, it's like, ooh, ibises. Here it's like, ugh, bin chickens. So yeah. Bull sharks. Yeah, where I lived in Florida, a couple hours south of where I lived in Florida, was technically the shark bite capital of the world. But those were not lethal bites. Like those, that just happened to be an area where a lot of baby sharks would come in and would just bite anything. So you might get gnawed on by a baby shark. You'd probably get a nasty cut on your arm or leg, probably need stitches, but they were almost never lethal. Here, they're a lot more likely to be lethal because the sharks are a lot bigger, they're a lot more aggressive. Honestly, I'm more afraid of things like the jellyfish than I am the sharks because you can't see them. Jellyfish are like, they're almost invisible in the water. They just drift along with their tendrils. They can go like 6 feet long and just fuck your day up. And apparently, even though we don't have the box jellyfish and stuff on this side, we do have little stingers, which are potent enough that you go into the water and you come out covered in these little welts that are just itchy and painful and annoying. And it's like, no thanks. I'd really rather not. I'd rather not come out covered in welts, if that's okay with you. Oh, it's you, JMD. Dealing with great whites probably bites. I'm so glad I can count on you to come bring your puns to everywhere I go. I can't get away from you, can I? Can't get away from you, Uncle. No matter how hard I try. Who is texting me? Okay. Nothing important. Cool. All life in Australia hates humans. Life in Australia has evolved so uniquely and so interestingly. Like, it genuinely is fascinating. I like it. I don't feel like things are trying to kill me constantly. But, I completely got sidetracked. Let me finish my thought about the darling scarp. So there are little critters that live there, allegedly, with really interesting names. Hold on, let me see if I can find. Wildlife of the darling scarp. Bobtail lizards are cool. We do have those around here. I've seen a couple of them. They're also called shinglebacks. And they're just pudgy little snub-nosed. You shouldn't fuck with them, but you can actually, like, they will bite you, but they're not venomous. You just leave them alone more than anything else. But, let's see. Oh, I love pink galahs. They're so cute. Oh my god, a baby! Baby Joey, look how cute you are. No, I'm gonna stop looking. I want to find, there was a list of things that live out there that only live in the scarp. And some of them were so rare to be seen that the only pictures of them on Wikipedia were drawings that somebody made like 100 years ago. And it's like, are we sure this thing exists? Are we sure it's real? Because, I mean, if the only evidence we have for it is stories from some intrepid adventurer who happened to have a sketch pad on him in 1903, I'm not convinced. I kind of need to see it. Yeah, fuck it. I'll look it up another time. What is this? Okay, cool. But yes. Rabbit hole found. Yeah. Okay, drop bears. Australians will go to their graves assuring you that drop bears are real. The closest thing I found to drop bears are, there's a park near our house where somebody has charmingly tied a bunch of stuffed animals up into the trees. I'm not sure why. We stumbled on this when we first moved in. We're walking around like, oh, here's a cute park. Let's walk through it. You look up into the trees and there's all these stuffed animals that are lashed to the trunks, just dangling there charmingly. They're not all bears. Some of them are elephants or clowns. There's a clown. Some no longer have legs. Some have been there for a very long time. And it's like, okay, that's a story I'm not sure I want told. Just back slowly away from that park and never speak of it again, I guess. So yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think of any other. Oh, magpies, of course. Magpies are the one thing Australians are afraid of. If you talk to actual Australians, they're not too worried about things like crocodiles and stuff. They're worried about magpies. Magpies will fuck your shit up. When I got swooped by a magpie back in October, that was sort of my rite of passage. That was my welcome to Australia, fuck you. So, yay, I guess. Drop bear cubs were the ones tied to the trees. The bunyip. Yeah, bunyip. That's the other thing that actual Australians shudder at. Like, they know it's not real, but they're all legit scared of it. Like, they were all scarred as children by stories and or videos of bunyip. And yeah, like Lupus and his family, they don't fuck around. We don't joke about the bunyip around here. Like, it's just not, it's not something we make jokes about. Drop bears, what the drop bears want you to think. Yeah, I mean, if they're working that hard, if they have such a great PR campaign going where they've convinced me that they're not real, then you know what? They can have it. Like, if they actually fall upon me and bite me, that's my bad. Like, that's my fault for disavowing their existence for so long, I guess. Cassowaries are scary, but they're not all over Australia. You know, like, magpies are fucking everywhere. Cassowaries are only in certain areas, and you can mostly avoid them. I'm scared of cassowaries. They scare the shit out of me, but we don't have them around here, or crocodiles, thankfully. The worst things we have around here are the magpies, the blue-ringed octopus, the sharks if you're, you know, unlucky enough to find an untagged one out in the water, and you know, spiders and snakes. Snakes are bad. Like, in Australia, almost every snake is venomous, and many of them are lethally venomous. So, because that's like pretty much exactly the opposite of the States. In the States, we have a lot of snakes that are very harmless and a few that are dangerous, but that's completely the opposite here. So you do not fuck with snakes in Australia. If you see one, you get the fuck out of there. If you are, you know, anywhere near one, you take precautions to protect yourself. Like, there's no fucking around with snakes. We don't go there. So yeah, they're magpies, snakes, certain spiders, blue-ringed octopus. These are the things that authentic Australians have a healthy fear of. So, deathly afraid of white owls. Interesting. Yeah, magpies, they only swoop for about 6 weeks out of the year, and they do it to protect their nest. But they can really, like, they can break the skin. They go for the eyes, you know, they come down trying to tear at your scalp. And there are so many, like, if you Google how to protect yourself from a magpie, there's so much great advice, like, don't run, just walk, because running will make them think that you've got, like, a reason to, and they'll come after you. Stay in groups. Be as tall as you can for some reason. That sounds like terrible advice, because you'd think they'd go for the tallest thing, but, like, I've even heard of people putting, like, fake eyes on their bike helmets and stuff, trying to have the magpie go for that instead of their actual face. Magpies are super smart and super scary. Like, just, yeah. The swooping that I got was a warning swoop. They didn't actually make contact. It was the get the fuck out of here before I have to break your face clean open, bitch. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, bye-bye. So yeah, they defend their nests. Yesterday on our walk, we saw 6 or 7 magpies hanging out together. And that makes me nervous, just seeing them sit around talking, plotting their world domination, you know. But it's too early in the season. They're not having babies yet, so they wouldn't be swooping. Not until about October. Aquatic saber-toothed cat. Yeah, that's about right. That's what most of them think of. Vampires? I don't know. Do the weird goth kids downtown count? Welcome to Belgium. Yeah, a lot of Europe has driven out all their more dangerous things, so I do get it. There is a certain appeal to not living in a place with actual wildlife. But then again, like I said, I used to live in Florida. We had panthers, we had giant pigs, we had alligators, which I saw every single day when I lived there. Snakes, spiders, bears, black bears. Most of which I was not afraid of, but all existed, and I had seen at one point or another. I had seen one Florida panther, many, many alligators, many, many feral pigs, big, scary pigs. The river otters would get a little aggressive with kids. Like, there was a bus stop next to this, like, pond where the otters were, and the otters would come after the little kids waiting for the bus. So, yeah. The most chill and relaxed you've ever seen me be. I'm just talking. I'm not playing anything, so I don't have anything to focus on. I'll play something in 2 weeks. Magpies won't take over the world. Well, they're doing their damnedest. They're gonna run all the humans out of Australia. Yaramayahu? I don't know that one. There's a lot of Australian, like, folk tales, and, like, the indigenous culture here is actually very interesting. It's very rich and interesting. A lot of the local museums have some really great exhibits and stories and stuff, so I do enjoy the indigenous culture. Giant pigs. Yeah, in Florida, giant feral pigs are a real problem because they breed like bunnies. And little baby pigs are super cute, but they're just fucking everywhere. They're all over the place. The saltwater crocodile. Nope, those are on the other side. Those are over in Queensland. Queensland. Yeah, we don't have those on this side of the country. They are very aggressive and they're very big. Alligators are chill. In Florida, alligators are pretty chill. They don't get above like 12 feet long. You almost never see one that big, and just, they're not that aggressive. Like, of course, if they're hungry, they will be, but like most of the time when I would see a gator in Florida, they would just be maybe a 4 to 5 footer, just chilling on the bank of some retention pond, doing a whole lot of nothing. Like the shelter where I used to walk dogs had a pond that had a good 3 gators living in it, and the only time I was ever worried is if I had a very small dog with me. And it's like, if they're hungry enough, they might go for that, but yeah, I never felt super threatened by gators. Crocodiles, on the other hand, not interested. They get up to like 20 feet. And yeah, they'll fuck your shit up. They'll come for you whether they're hungry or not. You love my videos? Thank you. I like them too. Yeah, there's not a lot of crocodiles in Florida. Mostly just the alligators, which I'm grateful for. And that's not to say they're not a problem. I mean, obviously, every so often, alligators will hurt or kill somebody. It does happen. But yeah, I feel like crocodiles are statistically more likely to mess with you if you actually get near them. And I think scientifically they are, just they're bigger, they're meaner, they're just angrier. They're forced to live in Australia and they're not pleased about it. Florida Man. Yeah. If you want to play the Florida Man game, go to Google, type in Florida Man and your birthday. Just the month and the day. You don't need the year. And see what Florida Man was doing on the day of your birth. Was he throwing an alligator through the window of a Wendy's drive-thru? Was he running down the streets of Miami with no pants? What was Florida Man up to that day? Give it a Google. There might be more than one thing, actually. Mexico. Yeah, I've been to Mexico a couple of times. Haven't really, like, I was a kid for most of it. Like, most of the trips we took to Mexico, I was a little kid. My dad really liked going down there. So I don't remember a whole lot about, like, the night times and stuff, but... You never done the Florida Man birthday game, VOD? Yeah. Just type in Florida Man with your birthday. What scary movies you have fun with? I don't like scary movies. Being immune to jump scares doesn't mean I like them. You know, I just don't care. I don't really like scary movies. I don't like to be made uncomfortable, which I feel like a good psychological thriller I can really enjoy. I can get behind that. But if it's just gory or messy or just a bunch of people being tortured for 3 hours, I get nothing out of that. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy watching other people suffer. That's not fun for me. So I don't do scary movies by and large. I gain nothing from it. Like, Lupus and I were having this conversation the other day. Somebody asked us what the last horror movie was that we watched, and we kind of were like, no idea. Like, we can't remember the last time we watched a horror movie because we just don't. Like, it's just not our style. So yeah, maybe if I did get something out of jump scares, I would enjoy them more, but I can't. New video, how do you wear your pants, man? Florida Man is an interesting fellow. Alistair, is that yours? Is that your birthday, Florida Man? Florida Man arrested for throwing pizza at father after finding out his dad helped birth him? That's your Florida Man? What a weird thing to throw pizza at somebody for. Like, really? The Jurassic Park. So Jurassic Park to me is more of like a thriller, like an action thriller. Like a horror movie to me is designed to like be gross, scary, really unsettling, really unpleasant, and probably not a happy ending. But like an action thrillery kind of thing, it's a different vibe. I like Jurassic Park. It does have some scary moments, but Like that tension, I like that tension. The tension is good. Tension is good for like building a good, like, it puts stakes, it puts skin in the game. You can't really enjoy a movie if there's no stakes. Like, you gotta have a conflict, you gotta have tension. But, like, I'm not into the gratuitous violence, screaming, mutilating, you know, no. Not there for it. I don't really like suffering for the sake of it. Florida man wearing nothing but cowboy hat attacks woman with machete. Wow, your birthday was a busy one. Your Florida man was cool. I like that. Alright, let's find mine. Hold up. Florida man. Florida man takes off pants after crashing into car. Oh, another one. Hot sauce saves Florida man after car crashes into Taco Bell. Yay! Taco Bell. We brought it all full circle. I love it. Hello, Barney. We're playing the Florida Man game, where you type in the day and month you were born and then the word Florida Man to see what Florida Man was doing on your birthday. Specified after. Saves Florida Man after the car crashes into Taco. How did the hot sauce? So, okay. I haven't clicked on the article yet. I'm just seeing the lead. But a Florida man is lucky to be alive, and he has his love of hot sauce to thank. Oh my god. Oh, Florida never changed. Holy shit. Florida man accused of pouring beer in gator's mouth after enticing it to bite his arm. Aw, poor gator. Aww. Florida man exposed himself to some high school cheerleaders. Oh god, sandwich. Ooh, Rob Store dressed as Spider-Man. Good for him. Alright, I kind of gotta click on this this hot sauce one, because I need to know how hot sauce saved his life. This has worked for me. Oh, okay. What happened was he was sitting in the Taco Bell eating, and he got up to go get some hot sauce, and then an SUV came through and knocked out where he had been sitting. And here's the kicker. The SUV was being driven by a very old man who thought it was in reverse, hit the gas, and just blasted through the wall of the Taco Bell. Wow, that's a ride. That's a fun story. Good lord. Barbecue all the child molesters. Holy crap, there's a lot of good ones. Steals tacos. What is it with tacos? Florida man really likes tacos. Evidence trail of pizza sauce? Oh man, that's a rookie mistake. Yeah, the Florida man thing is because of Florida's sunshine laws, which are basically like, oh shit, my fingies broke, hold on. Yeah, the accessibility of police records, arrest records, all that stuff is extremely, yeah, very, very, very open in Florida. So journalists can access damn near anything that's happened that the police have been up to and then write about it. So it's not that this shit doesn't happen in other states. It's just that Florida is really, really open about it. It's crazy. All right, fingies, fix yourself. Come on. There we go. A naked Florida man in a Publix parking lot kicked trash cans and jumped and punched cars screaming, "I only had one beer." Wow. All right, my finger's working again. That's the Florida Man Comedy Hour. Yeah, my fingers are working, okay. Whew. Yeah, I like the Florida Man stories. I realize that it's just silly, but I like it. And there are things I do miss about Florida. A few things I miss about Florida. Not as many as I thought I would. Oh yeah, I swear all the time. Of course I do. Fuck yeah, I do. Nah, this is conversational. This is not scripted, so I'm much more careful in my scripts. I don't want to get demonetized. Thanks, YouTube. Victoria! I thought you were dead. Florida man meets the Texas hobo. Oh man, that's a fight for the ages. Good to see you, Victoria. How the hell are you? Victoria, we were talking about Australian wildlife earlier. I can't believe you missed that. That's like your jam. I'll have to do it again sometime. I was explaining to them the vicious ruthlessness of magpies. And also why we no touchy the blue ring octopus. You missed what Florida has to do with Orlando. I like Orlando. I lived there briefly. I worked at Disney World. It's real damn hot. Like Orlando, the air doesn't move. I like being closer to the coast where you get some breeze. I got real tired of tourists. Not a super big fan of the snowbirds either. And the traffic in Orlando is just garbage, but they do have really good restaurants. And I do like Disney, like parts of it. So yeah. That's like your degree and stuff. I know it is. It's Victoria's wheelhouse. So yeah, we're just vibing. We're just hanging out, doing a little chitty chat to see how this format works and if you guys like it. How are we doing so far? Do you guys think we should keep doing these every other week? Next time I'll be gaming something. I don't know what yet. Maybe something low-key like Super Auto Pets. Just so we can ease ourselves into this. Do I miss the Cuban food? There actually wasn't a ton of Cuban food in my part of Florida. That's South Florida, like Miami. So I didn't really get a lot of Cuban food. I do miss like Mexican food in general. There's just not a lot of that here. There's not a lot of that outside of like the States and Central and South America. Like it's just not, it doesn't really make its way over. It was really hard to get a good taco in the UK, put it that way. It's easier here. There are a few decent taco joints here, but it's still, I think the ones we make are probably the best ones. But again, we do finally have the Taco Bell, and Lupus fucking loves that thing. So whenever we can, we do go to Taco Bell. I think we've gone 3 or 4 times now in the last, I guess it's been like 10 months. So it's really not that often, but it do be Taco Bell. So street tacos, yeah. Street food isn't as common here yet. Like we did go to some like food truck events, which was nice. It was nice to kind of get that vibe, that kind of like a festival, like park vibe with food trucks. It's not taking off yet, like it's getting there. The park near our house does like a food truck night every couple of months. I wish they would do it at least once a month, maybe even twice, because that'd be cool just to walk over there and grab like tacos. Or there's a lot of Asian food here because of our proximity to, you know, that part of the world. So a lot of the little like pop-up food stands and stuff will do, you know, sushi or bao or, you know, just stuff like that. Like a really, really strong Asian influence on the local culinary culture. Yeah, I'm part 8 of Vampire Roommate, but why would you listen to the latest one if you haven't gotten through the series? That definitely will spoil your shit. A lot of new names here. Yeah, oh, uh-oh. Why is my computer dying? Hold on a second, you guys. I think my charger might be bugging out. Here we go. I fixed it. I fixed it. Oh, probably, maybe. Hold on. Okay. Power's on. Power's on. Hold on. No, there are tacos in Australia. They're just not as common. There's no tacos in the UK. And again, when I say no, I mean there are some, but they suck. Or they're just really hard to find. Alright, here we go. We back. We back. Let's see. Hot dogs. Hot dogs are a problem, yes. Hot dogs are different in every country, and they're almost all wrong. The only good ones I can get here are from Costco. Alright. Fingies work. Fingies behave. Fingies work. Fingies behave. Yeah, snags are different. Snags are like sausages. Which, yeah. Oh, that is not fingy. Why you do that? Fix. Okay, there we go. That was a cat. No, that was me. I don't have a cat. But yeah, the hot dogs from Costco are American style, and they are so nice. Because boy, was it disappointing to try other hot dogs for a while there and not find one that was American enough. Needs more power. I got the power. I plugged it in. I don't know why that happens sometimes, but he's fixed. Fingies. I do like the fingies, even if it gives me trouble. I like being able to see my hands. Hello, hands. Also, enjoy the model while you can, because we're getting a new one, you guys. My incredibly talented and illustrious model maker, Tron, is going to be going to work soon, making something shiny and new for us. Fingies are the hot dogs. Can't believe that American hot dogs are enjoyable. And that's fine. Like, whatever you were raised with is your thing. I was raised with American hot dogs, so coming here, the hot dogs, and I use that term loosely, just didn't hit right. They're just wrong. And I tried a couple. And then Costco was my last hope, and sure enough, and they sell them there too, like in packs, not just in like the little cafe. So we're able to buy like 30 packs of hot dogs, and Lupus will go on these hot dog benders. We'll just eat like 2 hot dogs for lunch every day for like a week. And I'm there for it, man. Sometimes a hot dog, it just hits right. Nothing else quite does what the hot dog can do. When you're feeling a hot dog, nothing else compares. How am I? I'm fine. I'm doing okay. Waking up. Getting ready for my home inspection. Also, today's my parents' anniversary, now that I think about it. Happy anniversary to my parents. I did the traditional, texted my brothers a week ago to say, Mom and Dad's anniversary is next week. Do you want me to handle it? And the next thing I know, they're both Venmoing money to me because it's, my thing to handle. It's handled. I did it. What do I put on my hot dogs? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It is hot dog and it is bun. No ketchup, no mustard, no onions, no relish, nothing at all. Bare hot dog in bun, full stop. I'm a purist. Do not touch it with anything else. You understand? Are we good? Don't touch my hot dog. What do you guys like on your hot dogs? Why is my arm doing that? That's fucking weird. Wake up, fingy tracker. Stop tracking my arms like I'm reaching out forward. How cooked do you like your hot dogs? Hot. Like, if it's a microwave, I just, zap it for a minute so it's hot and starting to split a little bit. Over the fire, I like it to be, like, starting to get that kind of a golden crisp to it, but not black and not on fire. So just a couple of those little, like, scales, those little kind of golden crispy scales on it. Like that. Chili, interesting. Chicago style, that's complex. Ketchup and cheese, that's fair. Soy sauce, interesting. Oh my god, it's NG! You're the goober. Yeah, that's one thing I miss about Twitch when we're over here on YouTube, is we don't have our fun emotes. We don't have our fun, like, redeems. You guys can't make me do silly accents with channel points and all that stuff. Like, the interactivity is subpar here on YouTube. And I say that with much love. This is, of course, my home platform, but Twitch really gives us a better opportunity to fuck around and, like, do silly things, play with the fun emotes, all that good stuff. Yeah. Yellow mustard. Yeah, Lupus does yellow mustard, ketchup, and jalapenos, usually, on his. So he at least does put flavor on his. Before you think they were a household of heathens, it is just me. Peanut butter, pickles, and onion. I've heard people put peanut butter on like burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Should do it more on Twitch. Oh, VOD. I love it when you deliberately misunderstand me. What we're currently doing on Twitch is good. It is enough. It is the complete lack of it here is what I'm noticing, not the fact that we need to accelerate on Twitch. But hey, if you guys are feeling deliberately obtuse, who am I to yuck your yum? And gee, there are no goober redeems here, reverse or otherwise. All the redeems live on Twitch. And all the redeems, all the fun emotes. Thank you for the super chat. It's a pear. It's like a turquoise pear. He's cute. Pickled or fresh? He does pickled usually. Thank you for the follow. Best dessert? Oh god, that's like choosing a favorite child. How do you choose a best dessert? Like for me, it comes down to like what you're in the mood for. Sometimes you're in the mood for something really rich and like chocolatey. But sometimes you want something like light and fruity and, you know, not too sweet. Yeah. The redeems live in our hearts. If you redeem them on Twitch, do you get them on YouTube? No. No, you guys don't get to have it both ways. That's not how this works. If you want to poke me with weird redeems and stuff, you gotta do it on Twitch. I'll be over there tomorrow anyway for, is it Patron Pick tomorrow? I think it is. I think tomorrow's Patron Pick game. Yes, another fun perk of being my patron is you get to bully me into playing shit that I either don't know or don't have any interest in playing. But you know what? We found some really good games that way. You guys have pushed me to play some stuff that I'd never played and was surprisingly pleased with, so kinda owe you one. French silk ice creams. So lately I've been on, like, because it's so cold here, I've been on a cold weather dessert kick. So I made apple crisp the other day. That was fucking amazing. I made some apple pies last week. So yeah, still, like right now I'm in this like apple cinnamon warm space when it comes to dessert, but I do put like a scoop of ice cream. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Yes, if you follow on Twitch, it does show up here. Yeah, because the alerts are just... Twitch just lets the alerts fly. Even if I'm not live, Twitch just lets you guys do hype trains. It lets you guys do whatever the fuck you want. I don't have to be live. It's just gonna constantly send that shit through to Stream Elements, and yeah, unless I turn those off, which I don't really care enough to do, then whatever you guys do on Twitch will show up on the screen here. So keep that in mind. Carnitas, yeah, I have. Really, really good. Favorite cake? I love a good cheesecake, if I'm in the mood for it. If I don't want something that heavy, then I like just a really nice like layer cake with like a fluffy, more of a whipped cream style icing, maybe one layer of something fruity or ganache to give it some depth. Yeah, for me a lot of it has to do with texture and like how the pieces work together. Like if you've got a good cake to icing ratio, if it's not too dense, if it's not too heavy, if it's moist, if it, you know, you guys get me. What was that? Son of a bitch, you guys. Now I gotta go open Twitch. Hold up. Let's open Twitch and see what you're doing. Fuck. Wolfbracker. Thanks for renewing your sub. Sandwich, did you cheer something earlier? Because Sandwich, you're invisible when you do that shit. You know better. You know better, you weird ninja, bit ninja. You know what? That's it. You're the bit ninja now. Sandwich is the bit ninja. Don't I want to be famous? Look, I'm dealing with some weird, sad little dude right now who's having his fun signing me up for a million newsletters, some of which are actually really nice, and also loosely trying to hack my Twitter, so I don't want to be famous. I don't like being stalked, harassed, doxxed, bugged. I've never been more grateful to live in Australia. Like, it's really just, it makes me sad when people just can't let things go or can't just, you know, just can't walk away. It's just depressing. Key lime cheesecake is fucking amazing. If you're in the States and you really want a good cheesecake experience, Junior's Cheesecake, they do ship nationwide. It's in New York, but they do ship. Fucking amazing cheesecake. I get the sugar-free ones for my grandma because she's diabetic. And they have like little like single serve ones, like a set. I could send those to her and she can like keep them in the freezer and just pull one out when she wants to defrost and eat one. They're so good. Junior's Cheesecake. Wait, still? Oh yeah, he's still at it. He's still at it. He's alternating between finding new ways to message me and beg for forgiveness and then signing me up for a bunch more shit. So I'm not really sure what that strategy is all about. Sounds a little mentally deficient, not gonna lie, but you do you, boo. I'll just keep deleting stuff. But yeah, this is why whenever somebody says, don't you want to be famous, it's like, definitely not. Shit, you guys know it. I told this story on Twitch. I had that ex that stalked me for like a year that I finally got away from turn up trying to connect with me on LinkedIn, like right before I moved here. Like, talk about not being able to leave well enough alone. Like, I literally called the cops on that guy. And he's still, like, reaching out much later, being like, hey, let's connect on LinkedIn. Are you fucking learning impaired? No. I'm not connecting with you in any way. Go the hell away. I guess to them, no means maybe. JMD. Don't sugarcoat. Do I hate any... Well, I could be a pedantic pain in your ass and say, deserts? No, why would I hate deserts? They're such a beautiful biome. But I won't. I know what you mean. Desserts. Do I hate any desserts? I'm not a huge fan of things with coffee flavor because I don't really like coffee that much. So coffee flavored desserts I'm not really on board with. I'll still eat them, but I'll frown slightly while I do. You know, I mean, it's still dessert, right? I don't super like chocolate with spice, like the chocolate with like chili in it. I don't super like that either. Mostly I really like sugar, so it's hard to find a dessert I really actively don't like. Some things I can't have, like anything with fresh peaches or fresh plums or fresh cherries. Since I'm allergic to those, I can't have that. But if they're cooked, then the enzyme that I'm allergic to denatures and I can then eat it. So can I have my knife back for no particular reason? Yeah, it's just every so often you encounter somebody who's maladjusted. They want what they want. They want, even if it's just, I want an explanation, I want closure, I require, and this is something my ex did actually, the one that ended up stalking me. He refused to acknowledge me breaking up with him until I met him in person so he could look in my eyes and see that I was serious. And it's like, and I was young and stupid and didn't realize he had no right to demand that. And when I did meet with him, it went incredibly sideways, and that's where the police calling part came from. But the point is, you don't owe anybody anything. If you tell somebody, leave me the fuck alone and walk away, then they need to leave you the fuck alone. That's it. Like, you don't owe anybody explanations. You don't owe anybody, you know, justification. You don't need a reason to say, no thanks, I don't want to work with you, or no thanks, I don't want to date you anymore, or whatever. Like, you don't have to make a case for it. You don't have to let people make their case for a second chance. You don't have to forgive and forget. If somebody fucked up, just move the fuck on. The hope is that they will then learn from that and go forward a better person, less of an asshole. But sometimes they like to hang on a little bit and try to, like, you know, get what they want. They want forgiveness. They want closure. They want an explanation. Nah, not worth my time. Forbidden treats I can't resist. Again, it's a mood thing. For me, food is very much a mood thing. If I'm in the mood for something, then, like, come hell or high water, I will get that thing. Like, sometimes I crave donuts. Sometimes I just really, really crave donuts. And sometimes, like, if you put a donut in front of me right now, I probably wouldn't eat it. Like, I'm not feeling donuts right now. So, yeah, it's very much a case-by-case mood thing. Uncle Tony's gonna be so proud of me. You guys with your Uncle Tony, he's a terrible influence. I'm not gonna send you over there anymore. I'm gonna tell that Tony to stop giving you guys the angry juice. And definitely no more driving across the border. Patreon can't make me do the spiciest chocolate challenge. I'd really rather not. If we were doing a subathon or something. Okay, that's something else I should probably mention while we're here before I have to sign off, because I should probably sign off soon. This coming month, July, is the 3-year anniversary of the Twitch channel. Not the YouTube. The YouTube's birthday is this coming September. It'll be 4 years in September that I've been doing the YouTube channel with the audios. But Twitch, we're coming up on 3 years now. And I am going to do something to celebrate. I'm not entirely sure what yet. I've got a very long list of possibilities that I'm trying to narrow down. So if there are things you guys are interested in, if there are things you guys want to see me do, if it's some sort of goals and challenges, to do that, I suppose I would have to have, like, sub goals or something, because otherwise how do you reach those milestones if you don't have something to shoot for? So it'd have to be like sub goals or bit goals or something like that. I'm not really sure. So I guess it would basically shake out to be like a subathon, which I'm fine with if that's something you guys want. It will be on Twitch. It won't be here. So keep that in mind. If you don't follow me on Twitch, definitely do that. And yeah, you can drop your ideas in the inspiration channel on the Discord. If you guys are on the Discord, again, if you are a patron or a Twitch sub, you have access to the Discord through your connections. Definitely hop on there and make suggestions. Inspiration Point is the channel for suggestions of any kind. You can suggest audio ideas, you can suggest games for me to play, which you can also do on Patreon for the Patron Pick Game Night. You can suggest rewards for subathon stuff. You can suggest a lot of things. Whatever you're thinking. So yes, it is stream anniversary. God damn it, you know what? I'm turning off my fingies. Bye, fingies. It's been real. No more fingies. We're wrapping up soon anyway. Have a good one, NG. So yeah, we'll figure out how to celebrate. We'll do something. I've already made like a teaser video to remind people that it's coming and also to motivate myself to make some decisions, because I have a lot of ideas and I need to narrow that shit down. So what you guys have in mind, what you guys would like to do to celebrate with me over on Twitch, I figure it'll probably just be a stream, not like a week of streams or whatever. Like I don't really think we have the energy for that around here, do you? But especially, we're still waiting to find out if we're going to still have this house in August. They haven't confirmed that they're going to renew our lease. If they don't, then July is going to be a lot busier as we have to frantically pack and find another place to live. So hopefully it won't come to that, but just in case, I want to make sure to keep things manageable. Did you hear Sabaton? I mean, I play a lot of Sabaton on stream. I haven't lately. Also, guys, if you don't already follow, I have another channel on YouTube, Urban Nymph Plays. That's where I put all the clips and shorts and stuff. That's where I upload all of the full VODs for the storytelling streams that we do over on Twitch, the Telling Tales, Weaving Worlds, which is a series, I think there's 7 episodes now, where we talk about how to tell a good story, how to build a good world. Occasionally I have Lupus on to help us walk through that stuff for like D&D map building and stuff. We're going to keep doing those. We have to build out the lore for that map we made that time with the tree billies and stuff, so that'll be a good thing. So yeah, those are all on Urban Nymph Plays. And also the shorts that I make from Twitch. Now that Twitch has a really, really easy interface to turn clips into shorts that you can then upload to either YouTube or TikTok. Now that I have that, I try to do at least one a day that I stick over there, and then I can tweet it out and stuff. So If you want the little like fun moments from the streams that haven't actually come watch the streams, that's the highlight reel Urban Nymph plays. So definitely check that out. Jojo, hi. Hi, Jojo. So we don't have to panic move. Honestly, like, I can't imagine the only way they would evict us is if they were selling the house, because we're great tenants and getting good tenants is a pain in the ass. I get that. Like, they're not going to evict us. But the real estate market here is very hot. So if they decided they just want to sell and be done with it, there's not much we can do about that. And they're required by law to give us at least 40 days notice, which really isn't much. And we're actually coming up on it. I think July 10th is the 40-day cutoff. So I'm hoping today during the inspection to ask the person from the rental agency if she has any idea what their plan is. We did tell them, they reached out to us like a month ago and said, do you intend to renew your lease if that is an option? And we said, yes, we do. And they were like, okay, well, we'll go talk to the owners and see what they want to do. And we haven't heard back. So yeah, they also might raise our rent some ungodly amount. Hopefully that won't happen either. If that happens, then we'll have to move anyway. Because yeah, we're pretty much at the top of what we can afford right now, because they did gradually raise the rent over the course of the lease, which up until now they've been allowed to do, but they just recently passed a law, which I believe takes effect the first of the year, that they can only raise rent once during a lease cycle going forward. So that's good. But yeah, if they jack it again, we're going to be like, nah, we can't. So we'll have to find a new place. Really don't want to, though. I hate packing. I hate moving. This is the longest I've lived anywhere in a while, you know, and this is the most home I've been in a while. Like when I lived in the UK, I basically lived out of suitcases. I didn't really take much with me. When I came back from the UK and stayed with my folks for a couple months while I was getting my bearings, I, you know, lived out of a suitcase again in the guest room. All my stuff has been in storage. This has been the longest in a long time that I have felt like I'm not living in an Airbnb. I'm not living with my parents or my friends. This is my home. You know, this is my house. These are my things. I have things now. I have furniture and, you know, all that stuff that I got rid of when I moved out of Florida. I have it again, and I don't want to have to move stuff around. So, subathon's pretty popular as if you can't rather subpar. Thank you for the super chat, you troll. And I say that with much love. Subathons, it depends. It really depends. Some people are there for it, some people just aren't interested. If I did it, it would probably be decently long, maybe 5 or 6 hours, and I would probably switch up what I do during it. I would play different things, or we could, you know, do some just chatting, whatever you guys are down for. Like that, again, this is about you guys. The content that I produce is for you guys. So if there's stuff you want, if there's stuff you want to see or hear, like, you telling me what you have in mind is how I can do my job. Like, that's how I can best produce content for you. I do my best to guess, but I guess wrong a lot. So the more you tell me about what you want, the better I can do. So yeah. House search itself. Yeah, the house search. We already kind of tentatively started looking to see what's available in the area, just in case. But it doesn't really matter because, you know, until the time comes, we can't really act on anything. Live recording what? Like, you guys want to hear me record an audio live? Because that's actually really boring. I don't do multiple takes. I just read the script once through, and then I go through and clean out all the breathing sounds and stuff. That's kind of it. So, oh my god, it's Zeke Wars! More content. Dude, I'm producing content as fast as I can. I'm over here churning content out. Churn, churn, churn. There's only so much content I can do. How the hell are you, Zeke? Jojo beat you here today. Your girlfriend wins. She's my favorite now. And guys, if you're new here, if this is one of the first times you've hung out with me on a stream, this is how they go on Twitch usually. I'm pretty good at getting to know people that hang out and chat, and I remember a lot. So if you tell me something, there's a really good chance I will remember it later. And possibly tease you about it. So, just, you know, be warned. I'm pretty good at remembering what country people are in, what time zone people are in, things like that. I guess I cry. Aw, it's okay, Zeke. It's okay. They're there. Jojo, can you, like, give him a tissue or something, please? He's crying, Jojo. We don't want him to join the crybaby club. He's not allowed. He's not allowed. This is our club. He's not allowed. No, just give him a tissue. Tell him to suck it up. Tell him to fortify. Okay. She was my favorite before. Shh. Don't. No one believes in bloopers? I don't have any. If I had bloopers, I would probably do a blooper reel. But I absolutely don't, which is kind of depressing. Like, I write my scripts, I write them in my own voice, and then I go sit in my closet and I record them, and I do them in one take. If I stumble over anything, it just takes me a second to just like reset and redo that line, but it's usually just a slight pronunciation issue, or I cough, or a bird outside will shriek, because they do that a lot. I mean, you guys are the ones sitting here saying that I'm pretty well spoken for unscripted. That's exactly my point / problem, is that I don't really do bloopers. I don't have them. But if I ever go blah, 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 or something, then I will definitely save that for you guys, okay? I promise. You're loving the Monday and Friday uploads? Yeah, I think it's a good vibe. I think this is a good schedule. Yeah, I'm enjoying it too. The short teaser, now that I'm doing these little teaser shorts in advance of audios, it will be out later today for this for me tomorrow. I don't know what time it is where you guys are right now, but today is Thursday, so tomorrow's Audio Friday is a patron exclusive from months ago. So there won't be an early access for the patrons because you guys already had it, which means there's also going to be a patron exclusive audio on Patreon on Friday. So the public audio will be the patron exclusive from months ago. The patron only audio will be on Patreon, and the teaser short will be out in a couple of hours. It's ready, I just, don't want to put it out too soon. How I clean and edit an audio. Whew. I mean, it's really, again, I feel like maybe I'm wrong about these things being interesting, but I guess because I do it so much, it's not interesting to me. Man, the birds are getting loud, speaking of that. It's just sitting here with Audacity and just like running noise reductions and pasting in a little more space if I feel like there needs to be a little more space between comments for the listener to respond, or whatever. Like, it's very monotonous. I just sort of sit with my headphones on and stare at the screen and work my way through it bit by bit. It usually takes me an hour or two, and then I export it to MP3, take it into Lightworks, put it all together, start the render, walk away. That usually takes a long time, and then upload it. So what link is that? Halo. What is that? What is that? If anyone wants a blooper. Alright. I don't even remember what that was. Hold on. Oh, I see. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I didn't realize you could clip these. That's cool. I like that. Okay, well, at least that's an option. We can't have our fun, like, redeems and emojis, but we can clip things. Blah, blah, blah. I know. Blah, 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 blah. 10 tiny dots on the train tracks. 10 tiny dots on the train tracks. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Loosen up your tongues, people. We got talking to do. Words I can't say on YouTube. Yeah, I don't say those when I'm recording either. If I mess anything up even a little bit, I just stop, take a breath, start again. Like, it's just, I don't even cut. I just go back and cut that out later. It's incredibly, like, to me, pretty boring. Like, I'm happy with the result, but the process is very boring. You get to live another day. You're fine. I'm not going to hunt you down yet, even though I know exactly where you live and how to find you. I'm not going to hunt you down yet. More the watchmaker. I don't know, VOD. That was a VOD idea. I think that was one of VOD's VOD's an Olympian patron, and Olympian patrons get to pitch story ideas to me every month, and I get to pick one and turn it into an audio, and that was one of VOD's. So if VOD would like to see that one continue, I'm down. Doesn't have to be your Olympian audio of the month, VOD. It can be if you just say, hey, yes, go ahead and continue that story without me, I can do that. But if you want to continue that story, that's always an option too. The Florist Nymph is another one that's been an ongoing Olympian story. That one is Zombie Bears. He's been having a lot of fun coming, like every time we have our call, because Olympians get a half-hour Discord call with me every month at the start of the month where we talk about the different ideas, we talk about which direction to go with different stories. I play devil's advocate and explain all the things that are difficult about telling a story in a one-sided audio format. And we hash that out and decide if it's doable and decide if it's something that we want to pursue. And then I go off and write the script. Ominous loud thud is heard from the other room. Victoria, you okay? Thank you for the super chat, but are you okay? You good? What are the crepe myrtles of Australia? Plumerias probably. Or gum trees, I suppose. Yeah, Florist Nymph has been a lot of fun. All right, on that note, I got 10 minutes before the inspection window opens, so I should probably wrap this up. I'll try and do it a little longer next time. But yeah, this has been fun. I think this is working. You guys like this format? You like this twice a month thing on YouTube? If you do, I will definitely continue it. And like I said, we'll do like one just chatting and one game stream every month in that way. Because that's when I did the poll on the YouTube community post, which you guys hopefully saw. That was the overwhelming choice. You guys wanted both. You wanted game stuff and you wanted just chatting stuff. So I can definitely do that. If you like it, I'm there for it. 100%. Villainous for Hire, I think. Was that also a VOD story? There's no mischief going on. What are you doing? What are you doing? What did you guys do? Did you do something? I can see you. I see you on Twitch. Also, guys, we are just a couple of dozen Twitch follows away from 3,000, actually. So considering it is the Twitch birthday next month, it would be super cool to hit that. I hope we do. I really have no power over that at all, so I'm just sitting here like, yeah, I hope so. It'd be really neat. But yeah, thanks for the stream. Thank you for the super chat, VOD. Are you late? I'm sorry, Cheese. I'm wrapping it up. I'm sorry, but I'll be back tomorrow for patron pick. So, Cyberman, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. The flower is actually really pretty. Thank you. Okay, all right. Let me go ahead and wrap this up. Transition to this. And yeah, I will see you guys on Twitch tomorrow and through the weekend as we adjust to the new schedule. The schedule is pinned in my pinned tweet. And I need to update it on Twitch itself. But yeah, my pinned tweet is usually the best place to find all of my links and also my updated stream schedule. So the alternating Wednesdays that I am not here, I will be on Twitch. We'll be just doing regular streams then. Let's see. Victoria, what the fuck? What are you doing? I can still see you. Thank you, Victoria. We'll be having words later. You are on the same continent that I'm on. I can see you. VOD! No, VOD. What are you two doing? You're not like colluding behind my back, right? Like you're not, this isn't something you guys are talking about in secret. You're not in like DMs or some shit. Just, thank you, VOD. I love the corgi. I'm gonna kick you both in the shins. All right, kids, as always, be good. I will talk to you soon.